7:41 on this Tuesday, January 16th. I'm Tori. Good morning to my buddy, Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm extremely excited this week. I don't know why. I think it's just the new year. It's just the new year. New exciting things happening in my life right now. And I'm going on vacation this week, a quick getaway to Manhattan to see my daughter. And now you're here. We're going to talk dogs. And what better thing can we do than talk about dogs and cats and pets? Absolutely nothing, right? I mean, talking about dogs and puppies and kitties, and it doesn't make you smile.
It's the best.
Right?
I know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram, do you do social media?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. When you see the pictures of the puppies and stuff,
Just makes you smile.
it makes you smile, right?
Yep.
So a couple of things I wanted to ask you, and then you can let me know if there's anything happening.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto, cinema vet. In the wintertime, there is, I think, a misconception that because dogs have fur,
Right.
they're toasty warm
Yeah.
all the time. And they can be outside all the time, even in some lower temperatures.
Right.
True, false?
So, false. Yes, their coats help them, and there are certainly more snowy breeds, your Huskies and your Malamutes and your Samoyeds that are meant for cold conditions. But in general, it's a good idea to make sure that if you do have more outdoor type pets, outdoor dogs, that they have appropriate shelter and someplace warm and dry to be able to go. Obviously, it's the nicest, I think, if you can bring them indoors when it gets really cold. Because their coat is only going to get them so far. So,
what is a rule of thumb as far as you how you can tell if it's too cold for a dog? Do they show signs? I mean, they don't necessarily need to shiver, but that's an obvious sign if they're shivering.
That's an obvious sign.
But let's say if you need to go outside, if you take the dog for a walk, and you need to put on a coat or a jacket, is that a basic indicator that we need to maybe put something on the dog?
Well,
what do you think?
I mean, really out here we have milder temperatures than most other places. So for the most part, I think they would be fine for walks and things like that. If they were going to be outdoors for a really extended period of time, then you really might want to think about giving them something extra. I'm not a big fan of animals just staying in clothing, because
they're not a big fan either. Trust me.
I'm sure they're not. Luckily we're not in a place where it's freezing cold and we're dealing with ice and snow like most of the country is right now. But certainly in those conditions, you would want to protect their feet. They can have, kind of like a frozen burn type on their pads, just like we would experience if we were touching ice for too long. So giving them that kind of protection is important for sure.
Excellent. So what is happening? What's new in the world of dogs, cats, birds, etc.?
Nothing's necessarily new. We're just, gearing up for this new year, and we're excited about just what's to come and
what's happening. I think we talked about something last week in February, isn't it?
Yeah,
so what's
it's
coming
a
up?
dental health month in February. So we're kind of gearing up for that. Yeah, that tends to be a popular time. We usually extend it through March, because it's a good time to come in, and we get lots of clients coming in with their pets to kind of get that done. It's just a good reminder because it's like a national thing, so they hear about it a lot. So it helps for sure.
What if your dog, we've always heard about puppy breath and dog breath. How do you know it's time to, when that crosses the line into, we need to work on the dental? Like, how do you know it's just, that regular dog breath?
Yeah.
versus, let's get the dog in or the cat in and get some dental work done.
So when I do my exams, I always look at the teeth and the mouth of any of my patients. And so it's kind of a good practice to be looking at them at home as well. even dogs as young as 2 years old can start to develop tartar. So when you're looking at their teeth, if you're seeing anything that's sort of a tan or a brown rather than the nice pearly whites, that's tartar starting to develop. And then as it hardens more, it becomes calculus, and then that is like more of a thicker, harder buildup. So anytime you're seeing that, obviously there's various degrees of it, but if you're seeing that, it's good to come in and kind of get them checked out so we can see if it's time for a dental cleaning where we can clean all of that tartar and calculus off of there.
Now, does most of that stuff kind of build up at the gum line?
Usually it starts at the gum line. Yeah, it'll start there. So you might see just a line. If it's like a grade 1, really mild, it might just be a teeny little line right at the gums. Might be a little bit of gingivitis, like a little bit of reddening of the gums right around there too, because it causes some inflammation.
And that's what starts to stink, right?
That's what starts, yeah, because there's bacteria in that buildup, and it gets under the gum line. And then certainly as it progresses, you see more of that yellow, more gingivitis, and, it goes from there.
What can we do on a daily basis to help prevent that
Brushing
from happening?
is best. So toothbrushing, if you can get your pets used to it, obviously at an early age is best, but you can certainly start it at any time. And there's different techniques you can use. So they even something as simple as using a piece of gauze on your finger and using that to kind of brush over the teeth, or they have those little finger brushes.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Or just a little like a pediatric toothbrush, something smaller, with soft bristles. And
is there a doggy toothpaste?
There is. So there's doggy toothpaste. It comes in different flavors, but the important part of using something specific for dogs and cats is that it doesn't contain fluoride, so it's safe if they swallow it.
Got it.
Which they're going to want to do.
We have peanut butter and flavored. And the problem is, she licks it. She tries to, and it almost makes it a little bit difficult,
Right.
Because she's trying to move her mouth over to and her tongue over to where you are.
Yes.
And it's very difficult. So it is. You do have to work at it.
It does. It takes some practice
Yeah.
on everybody's part. It takes time, and it is frustrating when you think that they're just licking it all off. But even if you can kind of get them to chew on the brush a little bit, then that's still doing its job.
Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto, Cinema Vet. If someone wants to get a hold of you, maybe make an appointment, where can they call?
661-253-9300.
Fantastic. Dr. Jaimie, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
being part of the Hometown Morning Show.